Welcome to a special Pitchside, the Mayo News Sports Weekly, but we're doing a championship review here. We had loads of predictions on Friday about who was going to win games, who was going to lose games, who was going to draw games. We got some right. We got a lot wrong as usual, but sure, that's what makes it special. So we're going to go through it and pull each other up maybe about some of the predictions we made. I'm joined by Oisin Bradley and Ronan O'Donnell, my colleagues, we had a very busy weekend, lads, hadn't we, ourselves, and David Rishke as well. We were all over the place.
It's hard to keep track. It was so much going on. Like, you were going between grounds and you were trying to get the results, frantically looking at their website, just seeing whatever was happening around the place. It was crazy stuff. But
it was brilliant, though. I think it was one of the great weekends. Yeah. Ronan, you got around the place as well.
Yeah, Friday night games are just amazing. I think. The buzz they bring around, like Kilmina did a serious win Friday night. It started off a good weekend, for myself as well.
It was a good weekend for you as well.
It was a very special weekend for me and Ballycroy. Yeah, everyone knows we're arguably the smallest club in the world, and to go to Killala and the lads to win. I was at other games, but when I saw that result coming in, oh my God, it's hard to explain what club football does to you. And I was my wife was beside me and she thought I had got some kind of a hemorrhage or something. The roar I let out, I let out this mighty roar because I know how much it means, and not just to the lads playing, to the families and to people all over the world. Like it was fantastic. They went to Killala and won by a point. It was fantastic. But let's go through the senior predictions first, and I did them, and I think I got, was it five? Right.
You got plenty right there.
Yeah,
you got
I have to say I got the Ballintubber one wrong, and it was mentioned to me by by the editor here, and rightly so. But I thought that Claremorris, if they were ever going to win, they had to win. And Ballintubber, though, are one of the finest club teams. I think there was a stat here during yesterday that they've been in 17 quarterfinals run in a row.
Yeah, they're a bit of a machine. Like the experience, Jason Gibbons, the O'Connors, they know the story at this stage. But Claremorris, the youthfulness, I thought they have a little disappointed really in the end.
Yeah, comes down to
I took Claremorris as a dark horse at the start of the year, and now they're kind of struggling to sort of stay afloat.
Yeah,
I was at the game myself, and it was kind of an even enough first half, but Tubber kicked on. They know how to win, and just a few 2-pointers. Kieran Gavin made a big difference. Yeah, and it just came down to the end. Claremorris had a bit of a revival, but the Tubber know how to win ugly, and they did it well there.
On Friday night, I was in Brafey to see Brafey and Castlemar Mitchells, and we predicted a draw, and we got a draw. It was. I love games like that. I thought it was so intriguing, so interesting. An awful lot of people thought it was boring and dour, but it was both teams that know each other so well. They were really testing each other out. An interesting stat that I only found out today, actually, though I was watching the game, is that Castlemar didn't get. They may have got one free inside 40 metres. They didn't get two, and that's probably down to really good Brafey defending too.
Yeah, it's an interesting one there. I was only keeping an eye on that one that was coming through. It was a bit of an arm wrestle here, but like those games, all batters coming out on top. Neither team did that, and both teams feel a bit like it's a point dropped. It leaves them both in a bit of a precarious position. Mitchell's more so; they're almost fighting for their life there, and they'll need things to go their way in the last game.
If Brafey beat Balmullet, Mitchells are out, and Ahamore are out.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
But if Balmullet beat Brafey, both Mitchells and Ahamore will be through to win. So.
It's interesting,
it's
we can go through the permutations for a while there to write an article, and it's just something that it just melts your brain.
It does, surely. So Ballyhonus, Gary Moore, we predicted Gary Moore. At halftime in Brafey, people were coming up to me and saying your prediction is way out, because I think Ballyhonus were 8 up at that stage running and looking good. But Gary Moore came back.
They did, yeah. That was in Ballyhonus, you have to win your home games really if you want to have an impact in the championship. But Gary Moore are a serious team, and they turned it around well. Glenn and the Roscommon fella got a goal. He's a good addition to Gary Moore this year.
Yeah, they're right back in it. In that group, Crossmolina, Belnast, Stephenites on Sunday, arguably one of the games of the championship. I hear it was fantastic football. We predicted Belnast, Stephenites, and of course, Crossmolina beat them.
You say we here.
I. In the paper,
too many wins here in terms of predictions from last week's pitch side. Like, you got more right than we did, but we'll take the one on this one.
Absolutely.
It was a shock as well. Like, we predicted, but it was a really festival of football from what.
Yeah, real good, fantastic win for Brian Benson and his team. In Brafey's group, Balmullet and Ahmore also. Super win for Balmullet in the sunshine in Tala. One of the texts I got from Conor McKeown, our photographer, he was absolutely loved the pitch in Balmullet. He said the surroundings were fantastic. The welcome he got was great. And then Balmullet won, which was...
Yeah, it's always a hard place to go down to Balmullet and win. Even Kiltane and Kilcommon, these are serious places to go down and win. And Ryan O'Donoghue was star man again, as he proved once again.
Yeah, Ahmore were missing Liam Lavin, big loss, but Balmullet got the job done. We've already spoken about Clamars and Ballintubber in Group 3. Also in Group 3, Charlestown and Ballahadreen. A meeting of rivals and neighbours and everything. You were at that, Oisín. It was interesting to say the least.
Yeah, I was at that, and Andy Moore was at it as well. I think he was papped almost coming in a small bit late, but listen, it was a really tight game. The black card to the keeper near the start of the second quarter played a big role, and Ballahadreen pushed on. Charlestown did sort of revive themselves, and they got themselves about 3 or 4 points at the end.
Yeah,
but Ballahadreen sort of showed that sort of grit and winning mentality, and it leaves Charlestown in a bit of an issue there.
And Cuba Callahan again to the fore.
Cuba was to the fore. Towie was to the fore as well, Paul Towie, but it just seemed to rely a bit too much on him at stages, Charlestown. Yeah. But they'll need a big performance now against Claremorris, because whoever loses that, they're in the relegation playoffs.
In the paper, we predicted Ball would beat Mayo Gales, and they did. But the margin running was not expected.
It was awful one-sided, Jesus.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be closer than that, like Mayo Gales at home as well. I thought they'd put up a big fight, but Ball were very impressive, and they set up a tie with Westport. I think winner goes through. That'll be a massive game, and Mayo Gales are in serious bother.
They are. Yeah, they are in bother. And then I was in Knockmore on Sunday. Oh, the colour in Knockmore! It was a beautiful day. Westport in them sky blue jerseys came out, and Knockmore in they have saffron and blue. Oh, in the sunshine, it was stunning. Knockmore got off to a great start. They were 4 up, and it looked like Ray Dempsey's men were going to pull away, but Westport came right back into it. They're big, tough men, and I really liked the way they played. And in the end, a draw. Bits of controversy here and there, but kind of was always going to be a draw, even though we predicted Knockmore would win.
Yeah, Westport really upped the ante in that one. Like, they proved us wrong anyway. They came to play, and play they did.
Yeah.
And ultimately in the end, they managed to get a share of the spoils, which has been a healthier position than we would have thought.
Yeah, if they beat Ball, they're through. Yeah. So in the intermediate, Ronan, you were doing the predictions here in the paper. You went for Ardnaree against Ballinrobe, and you were right.
Yeah, I said at the start of the season, Ardnaree are my dark horses, one to watch. Lee McHale is involved there in the management team, and their minors are competing at A, and they have a serious bunch of... Nathan Roddy's a serious player.
Yeah.
Ballinrobe, too many injuries, I think they're struggling. I think Ardnaree, they've done well, 23 points, I think, serious scoring.
Now, Ballinrobe were winning right to the end, and Ardnaree caught them, and Andy Moran was there watching, so he'd have been delighted with that. To such a good game. Castlemar Mitchellsby and Lardon, Oisín, that was a Ronan, you were at it, but Oisín, there was a huge win for.
I backed them to draw, and let's see if I can face up to that one. That's one of my not one of my finest hours, but Lardon, obviously they had a big draw against Ardnaree in the first day, and that maybe took it out of them. Like that was a stellar result for them, and they just didn't put in the same sort of performance they would have liked. Mitchell's B, to be fair to them, they showed that they have serious quality and depth. And that's something which could stand to the A team as well. But the performance some of them put in was absolutely outrageous.
Yeah, they have a chance running in the next round, haven't they, to go
Mitchell's
through?
B, yeah. Oh, they're serious.
Yeah.
Someone commented after the game, actually, they asked, was that Castlebar A or B? Because that was...
They were so good.
There's players that played A, and I think there's 4 or 5 lads that played Mayo Mine in recent years coming on.
Coming on as subs, even.
A serious side of depth.
A serious squad, yeah.
And your game on Friday night, Ronan, Kilmina went up to the Neil, up to Kong and won. And they were under pressure. They were behind, like.
They were, but Damien Egan is a cool customer, Kilmina manager. Yeah. He just said, stick to training. They have a clear game plan there, and it worked in the end. Quayle Callaghan came on and got 1-1, I think, and young players really stood up, the likes of Luke Durkin, Jack Mulcrode, serious games.
Yeah, great. And you were in Newport on Sunday. How did Burshoe lose that one?
I don't know.
They're 6 or 7 up or something.
Crazy, yes. Yeah. And Finton McManama, who was outstanding, he had a simple free at the end, really, and he went wide, like, but Kilcommon came back in. I think 2 subs got 2 late goals.
Yeah.
And Nigel Reeves-Med went bazookas on the sideline. There was a brawl at the end, and there was men everywhere on the ground. But
jeez, Just a bit of
handbags.
handbags.
Schmazel's another good word to be used sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's no harm with an old schmazel now and again. It'll iron things out. But then, even though we predicted it, Ronan, it was still a big shock. Park winning so impressively in Ballindine.
Yeah, a bit of a shock now. I said Park could win the intermediate, and I'm sticking by them now because they have some serious forwards.
Yeah.
The age profile as well looks perfect mix, youth and experience.
Yeah.
Davids are solid, but Park flipped them this time.
Yeah. They were super.
Running over at Darrell, it was apparently incredible. He got 2 goals, 2 points.
Yeah.
An all-out performance. I personally backed Davids to win, but I thought it would be tight. But Park blew them away. They really that's a statement one for them.
To win in Ballindine, no, that's serious.
You're saying, I was listening back, you said to take a serious team to win in Ballindine. Never mind win, they won comfortably.
Yeah, big win. My dark horses for the championship with Kiltane. Their forward line is as good as any in the county intermediate, and they blew Iron away really. Iron had a really good day the first day, but Kiltane, geez, they're rolling and they love it.
Yeah, Josh Gary wasn't fire in that one, and Iron are kind of they're a bit of bother now. I'd say. It's an interesting group, that one.
Yeah, Kiltane. I tell you, they have a home quarter final now in Bangor, and that'll be an interesting day. Kilmaine and Louisburg. I was at that. In Group 4, I was saying before the match there was 5 or 6 bullocks up on the hill and watching the game, and if they'd have been really entertained because Kilmaine were absolutely outstanding. They scored 225, and they really, when they start to play, they're like Kiltane. When they're on a run, they're really good, and I thought they were excellent. Louisburg and Bother too. Yeah, so. Be interesting. It's not really expected, Ronan, that Louisburg would be in Bother, was it?
No, I thought they'd get out of the group, but out of junior, intermediate, and senior, Louisburg are the team that disappointed me the most. Really,
okay.
They have 3 or 4 players that played Mayo underage in recent years, and they're just simply not performing. And now they're in serious bother.
They are. It just didn't happen for them. And Hallymount, Carmore, and my Davids made a big statement. They were behind Dushing and came back and won.
Yeah, this was a sort of a clash of 2 teams that could beat later on down the line in the knockout rounds. They were both top teams. And my dad showed excellently, and apparently it was a fantastic game of football by all accounts. Yeah, excellent. And my Davids, we questioned them at times, but they were excellent. So we go on to the junior. The junior, we had some super junior games. David Rishke was in Kilfine, to see Kilmovee beat Northern Gales. That was a big win. The Shamrocks going down there is not easy to win, and both teams had to win, and Kilmovee did it. And this one, Shrewglen Carb and Achill, that must have been a thriller. John Paul Heaney had the pleasure of that. Achill going well, but Shrewglen Carb done them. Yeah, Shrewglen Carb now sitting sort of top of the group alongside Eastern Gales. They're both 2 wins from 2. It's an interesting one there. Again, but no team's out of this, because if you look at the Eastern Gales Swinford game, Swinford may have lost and thrown it away in the last few minutes, despite the fact that Mark Forkin left out Stormer, 3 2-pointers from cornerback. But Swinford now, like Swinford and Achill are both sort of in a fight to get that second place. I know Swinford's at no points, but the third place still guarantees you a playoff at least. So for just the bottom 2 teams in both Group 2 and 3, the season's dead, but everything else is still going. Okay. Arda gone along nicely. James Carr, lead trainer, kicked 1-8 for Arda against Ballycastle. They're motoring nicely. But the big 2 winners in the junior, Ballycroy and Turmacady. Ballycroy, we already said, they beat Killala. Really, really fine performance there. But Turmacady beating Kilchma, Ronan, that was a shock, I think. It kind of was in Kilchma as well. Ronan Malloy, former Kilchma player playing for Turmacady now, he basically won them the game. Yeah, scored 1-4, I think. Including a late goal, which sealed the deal, really. But Turmacady, they're tipping along there. Shane Moore and manager, they're going well. They did. And all championships are really shaping up to be excellent. We'll keep predicting. We to get the odd one right. Yeah, I think Ronan got most right this week. Unfortunately, Ronan got 9 out of 16. I was bang on with 8 out of 16. Unfortunately, you were 7 out of 16. But I did well in the senior, but after that, in the intermediate, I was a disaster in the intermediate. But such is life. We'll always look to improve, you know. Yeah. But guys, championship football always brings opinions and predictions, but most of all, it brings great fun and great crowds to
communities across Mayo. And the Mayo News, we love being there. We just absolutely love Club Championship. This weekend, it's Ladies Club Championship, and we're really looking forward to that. But join us again on Friday for our weekly pitch side from the Mayo News.